So this is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by 20-0 featherweight Abraham Nova. Abraham, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Very good, thank you. You're looking to become 21-0 on Saturday night on the big Joe Smith Jr. card. Just tell us, first of all, typical journalist question, but how has camp gone?
Camp is going really good. I'm excited how everything turned out. I had a very strong and tough training camp for 8 weeks in Boston, Massachusetts. And I'm excited, for Saturday night, January 15th, live on ESPN to showcase my skill and talent.
Excellent. Now, this is the first time you've been on Seconds Out, so it's good to get an idea of the backstory. Tell us how you first of all got involved in boxing as a kid.
Well, I got involved in boxing with as a kid with a family friend. He taught me how to throw some punches. And just because he told me those, 1, 2, I thought that I knew how to box. So one day after school, I went with the kids to the gym. And when we went to the gym, they were sparring. So I said, hey, I know how to box. So I got in there. My first day ever at the gym, I started sparring. I got my butt. And I was very pissed off. So I wanted to redeem myself. And I kept going to the gym just to get the kid back. And then one thing one thing went to another. I kept boxing, and here I am today as a professional fighter.
Wow. Now, you were born in Puerto Rico, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Puerto Rico.
When did your family move to the US?
My family moved to the US a couple of times. We lived in Puerto Rico, then we went back, but we officially moved in the US. I think was in the early 2000s.
So you would have been very young still.
Very young, yes.
Wow. How did you kind of adapt to the new environment, or do you remember much about it?
No, I don't. To be honest, I actually just, I adapted to the situations. I went to a bilingual school. I went to a Spanish-speaking school, and I spoke English at home. I mean, I spoke Spanish. I spoke English at school, and I spoke Spanish at home. So I was able to fluctuate my language and become bilingual just because I had to defend myself at school and defend myself at home.
And have you been able to kind of get some of that Puerto Rican fan base? I know there's a big community in New York.
Yeah, it's big time. I got a lot of Puerto Rican fans. I got a lot of Dominican fans as well, because my parents are Dominican. So, I was able to, to have the best of both parties. Have the Puerto Rican fan base behind me and the Dominican fan base behind me. So yeah, I'm really excited, of all the support that I'm getting from, all my Latinos.
Now you've got William Encarnacion on Saturday. What do you make of him? What sort of fight do you think it will be?
William Encarnacion, I see he's a very experienced fighter. He was a very good amateur. He had, he had a lot of amateur fights. He had beaten former world champion IBF titleist Jonathan Guzman in the amateurs. He also was a 2012 Olympian. So I know he has a good amateur background. So going to this fight, I have to be very careful because I know he got some tricks up of his sleeve. But I feel like my skills and my power and my body frame, I'll be able to dictate the pace and get an early stoppage or mid-round stoppage.
Tell us both, when you first got into boxing as a kid and also now, who have been and who are your influences?
Well, coming into boxing, my biggest influence, I could say, was myself. I wanted to prove something to myself that I could be good and I could beat that kid up that beat me up, and show myself that I could do this, because I was very gifted playing football, baseball, and basketball, and I didn't really have to work out in order to win, but in boxing you got to put in the work if you want to get the victory. So it was a difference. So I could say I was my biggest influence as a kid, but as I got older, a lot of fighters and mentors became my influence. I will watch, I watch Tito Trinidad, Mayweather, Canelo. I'll watch these fighters, and they'll motivate me. And then a lot of time, the biggest influence I could say is my family. My family, they're all successful. I got 10 brothers and sisters who are all college graduates, and now they're very successful. Has a very successful, has a what's that word? I lost the word, but they're very successful, and they're my biggest influence because I'm always trying to compare myself to them, and I'm always trying to be as good as them or better. Has a positive competition I have with my family, So I could say they're one of my biggest influence.
Now, tell us a little bit about your training setup. So where do you train? Who's your head coach? And who do you spar regularly in-house?
So, growing up, I trained in Albany boxing gyms, the city, but, as a professional, I wanted to pursue my career and get better at it. I needed more, more looks, more sparring. So I moved from Albany to Boston, where Boston, it was more of a boxing scene state. So I was there training with Mark DeLuca. He's helping me get ready for this fight. And now, I has my sparring partners. I have a whole bunch. We travel, and we get different works, different looks.
Just tell us some of the kind of more notable names in your division or around your division that you have sparred, whether it's at your gym or whether you had to travel to them.
Say that again, please.
Yeah, no worries. I said, just tell us some of the more notable names in and around your division that you've moved around with, you've sparred with, whether you've had to travel or not.
Oh yeah, I traveled. I sparred with Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, so the kid from Jerron, that Jerron Ennis beat. Actually, fought Jerron Ennis in the amateurs, but I forgot this kid that Jerron Ennis beat. I sparred with him. I sparred, with a lot of fighters. I sparred at Lamont Peterson, Richardson Hitchens, Christopher Behab. The list goes on of fighters that I sparred. But I've been in there with all high class caliber world class fighters. I held my own in there with them.
That must give you great confidence, especially fighting at the level you are now, because if you're holding your own with world-class
fighters. Sergio Lipinets.
Lipinets, of course. Yeah, so if you're holding your own against these world-class fighters, world champions, it must give you great confidence for the fights you're having now.
Yes, big time. As a kid, I was 15, 16 years old fighting, undefeated professional fighters. So I always had that confidence in me, sparring these pros, it gives it. But the biggest confidence I get is from myself and my hard work that I put in the ring. Every time I train, and I have a successful training camp, I feel like if I train hard and I train at my best, there's nobody that could beat me. It's based off my skills, my attributes, and the assets that I bring into the ring.
Now, for people out there that have never seen you box, how would you describe your own style?
It varies. I could adapt to any fighter, but I would say I'm a boxer puncher. You guys gonna see a lot more. You guys gonna see me box a lot, but then fight in between sessions. Before I consider myself as a defensive pressure fighter, but no, I have good boxing attributes, and I'm gonna show that Saturday night on January 15th.
Great stuff. Now, where would you like to be boxing-wise by the end of this year, by the end of 2022?
2022, just saying the number 22 is my favorite number. If you watched all my fights, you would know that 22 is my favorite number, So I have a big thing and I have a big goal to have by this year. I want to become a world champion by, in 2022, I feel like this is my year. I feel like, I fought and beaten everybody top rank has put in front of me. I haven't said no to one fighter they put in front of me. So, I feel like this year I should get my title shot and I should become, a world champion.
Who do you rank as the best of the world champions in your division right now?
At featherweight, I can't give you that answer because I haven't been in there with them to say that, but I can say who has the best resume. What the best resume at featherweight would have to be Gary Russell or Leo Santa Cruz. I would say Gary Russell, Leo Santa Cruz, and then Emanuel Navarrete. I feel like they have the best resumes.
Is there any of the champions that you feel suits your style best out of all of them?
They all fit my style best. Like I said, I adapt to any fighter. You put them there in front of me, and I will take them out. You know, I would love to get a shot with Emanuel Navarrete. I feel like that's the fight that could be easily made because he's with Top Rank. You know, I will fight anybody else, but I feel like that's the fight that could be easily made. We're in the same, we're in the same promotion company. So if I could get a shot to fight him, I'll fight him any day, any time of the day.
What's the ideal dream scenario? Like, all fighters at your level want to be world champions, but is there, a certain venue you'd like to achieve it in? Is there a certain way you'd like to do it in terms of getting the knockout? What's your dream scenario?
To win it. That's it. Doesn't matter if I knock him out. Doesn't matter. It could be in his backyard, my backyard. It could be anywhere. My dream scenario is to, have my hand raised and be called in the new, WBA, WBO, WBC, IBF champion of the world. Doesn't matter which one it is. Just be called a champion. I don't in the middle of a playground. We could get it in wherever. I just need, I need to be told that I'm the champion of the world.
What does that mean to you? If you can put it into words, what would becoming a world champion mean to you?
It would be one of the biggest things. It's a childhood dream that that's coming true. That came true. So I know I'm this close. To being that. So it'll be in everything to me. I know it doesn't end there, but it'll be another stepping stone, another goal. Achieved in my life.
And do you have your own family yet? You're still a young guy, of course, but do you have a partner, children?
Yes, I have a girlfriend, but no kids at all. Not yet looking. I have dogs. I breed Rottweilers.
Okay.
So I have a female Rottweiler. I guess we have 5. We had a litter of 5. I was able to get to sell all of them out to a lovely home. So I breed Rottweilers. So I consider my dog my daughter, and that's about it.
Excellent. Just before I let you go, just tell the viewers out there, as it's your first time on the channel, how they can find you on social media, so all the main platforms.
All right, so all my viewers, tuning in and watching, you guys want to follow me, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Abraham Nova 22, Twitter, Abraham Nova 22, and on Facebook, Abraham Supernova. Easy to find, my first and last name. And I appreciate all you guys, for tuning in and supporting me in my career. Without you guys, I wouldn't be who I am.
2 quick things. I know I said I was going to let you go, but 2 quick things first. Why is 22 your favorite number?
My 22 is my favorite number because, I played, like I said, my first sport I played was football, and then baseball. And that was always my jersey number. And then the first football player that I ever seen play was Emmitt Smith. He's a legendary football player who played for the Dallas Cowboys, and his number was 22. So I took that number, and I ran with it. And it's been a lucky number for me throughout my whole life, to be honest.
Oh, awesome. And the other thing I wanted to know, the whole reason you got into boxing or you got more into it was because you wanted to get your own back, get your revenge on the guy who beat you up the first day of sparring. Did you ever get your revenge? Did you get the chance to beat him up?
Yes, I did. I stopped him.
Yeah.
I stopped him in sparring probably 2 years after that, and like I said, he was an open fighter. He was already, national silver gloves champion and everything. And 2 years in, stop him in a sparring session with a body shot. So, that felt real good to me, knowing that, I had a mission and the mission and I completed it.
Excellent. Really, really appreciate your time. Very best of luck for Saturday night. We'll all be watching. And let's do this again.
Yes, sir. Yes, I appreciate the interview. Thank you for it. It was lovely chatting with you and talking to you about my, my boxing career, my boxing past. Let's do this again.